Alright guys, what's up? Yo, it's not Mandem back again, and today we are finally opening Fusion World Raging Roar. Try to see what alt arts and secret arts, the secret rares we get, and we're doing it in a podcast style. So today we're discussing the future of Dragon Ball Super Card Game. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Alright, first box. Let's get this open. You know, no box cutter out here. Not using the nails they don't have. Yeah, so future of Dragon Ball card game, at least for me, coming from someone who played Masters at the very beginning with Jamal and some of our boys. It took us a while to get into Fusion World. Even at first being hesitant, being like, ugh, why couldn't they make the online client for Masters like they planned? I'm not gonna touch Fusion World. And at the end of the day, like everything else, you give it a chance. I'm like, yo, this game's actually pretty good. To the point where mans went to regionals and getting top 4. So then I gave Fusion World for me a second chance. I'm like, man, if both of these games could stick around for code card, both of these games could stick around for the future, then and
What was that?
my phone. If both these games could stick around for the future and gain some attraction, I have some hope. I have some hope for the Dragon Ball Super card game, and especially Masters. To be honest, for these kind of games, it's hard to gauge the traction when you live in Canada because our events are more sparse. But even going to the regionals at the end of August in Niagara and seeing some people come up for, even though it was a smaller amount for the Masters, I have some hope for the future. I really hope Masters gets reinvigorated, and that people who play Fusion World can hop back on Masters or hop on Masters for their first time. Because I still think it's a really good game, even though we haven't kept super up to date with it.
Yeah, I do think it seems like there's a resurgence in Masters because I see a lot of people talking in the groups on Facebook, at least, about, what was that?
It's SR. It's nice though.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about, Masters, Fusion World being like the thing that leads people into playing Masters. It's kind of like the thing that draws people in, and I can see that. But Fusion World, what drew me to Fusion World, because like Kevin said at first, it was just like, honestly, just reminding me of like set 1 and 2 of Masters, and it was kind of like, it felt unnecessary. Like, why is Bandai doing this? And I still think it's kind of unnecessary. Like, they should have just took time to build one game and make it good. But like, after playing Fusion World, at the tournament and stuff like that, I see the value in the simplified gameplay versus Masters is like very complicated. Maybe it's not complicated, but like from the outside looking in, because I haven't played for a lot of sets, so I don't really know a lot of the new skills and stuff like that. But Masters, like, there's like, just look at the cards, like there's paragraphs on paragraphs, like the cards are yapping. But on Fusion World, it's pretty simple. Like, choose your leader and up to one of your battle cards, and it gets 10,000 power, swing, blah, blah. There's no counters, stuff like that. So it's just a simplified game, and it makes it easier for somebody who's busy, have a kid, the different stuff going on in life. Fusion World is easy to just pick up and play. Like, I played in the Niagara tournament, not knowing any of the cards. So that's the benefit of Fusion World, I think, right now. How easy it is. But I see how, like, Bandai is Fusion World is kind of creeping into Masters territory with some of these new skills. And honestly, a lot of the decks, it's like attack, play a card, put it back to your hand, or put a card in the drop period and pick it from the drop period, like legendary flute kind of stuff, and multiple attacks in one turn. So I can see how, like, Bandai's kind of repeating themselves with the way they're running this game. So that is a kind of concerning, because I thought Fusion World was supposed to be like a simple, different game, but I don't know. Especially like Jiren, like, it's just a lot of interesting skills that they're doing right now.
If they can just, for me, I think the main thing for the future for Fusion World, and I don't know if Masters can do this. Okay, side note, I'm really big on grammar and the English language. I grew up with my sister being super hard on that in like a really good way. You see like straight A's in English because of that. So for me, when I see something that's off and that I know that it's hard for me to understand, I'm just like, wait, I have to give it a second look. I'm like, yo, Masters, how it is right now, or even how it became like before we stopped like playing, it's like it became hard to understand. And someone who like is really big on grammar and just things being succinct, I'm like, yo, what did they do? And that's something that kind of turns me off from like playing like, you know, if you guys see in recent videos from me and Jamal, we're playing like more classic decks, kind of like a Goater format. It makes it hard to get into like the newer cards that have a whole bunch of effects, and it's like you have to take like a second or third or fourth look on the wording. So for me, for the future, I'm really hoping they can just at least fix the wording. The whole yo, they brought the power level of 5 GG, no TT, yo, holy. Yeah, I'm really hoping they can fix that even for G17. No, the SRs look nice in this game. The folding is very nice. And look at that Piccolo. Ooh.
Oh,
yeah, I'm really hoping they can at least fix that in Masters and stay away from overcomplicated wording for Future World. So that's another one of my hopes for the future.
Yeah. Even like in Fusion Road, there's certain cards where it's just like, you know, you had like 2 games to kind of learn from your experience, but yeah, there's still like some kind of like issues in my opinion. Like for example, I don't have it right here, but like the Senzu Bean card, like that card, it's, you know, you tap 2, or is it 2 energy? Yeah, 2 energy to use it, and then you tap 3 to activate the effect where you gain a life. But like it's not really clear on the card itself that that's how it functions. You kind of have to like go and do research.
Oh yeah, like if you can tap 2 and you have to do 3 as well, or if you do 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, or if it's just 3. Because like there's certain cards like even in Masters where it's just like it has an activate main, and then it also has a skill, like a power cost. But then if you activate the main, then you don't have to activate the power cost. You know, there's certain cards that work like that. Right. So it's kind of like just a confusing design choice. Like, why not just make it simple? Like, either you tap 3 or you tap 2, like, and that's it. Like, why, you know?
Yeah, and just, you know, quick side note, it's not a hate or anything. For those of you who are being like, oh, it's so obvious it's on the card. If it's not super obvious off the bat, okay, it may be for you, but if it's not for everybody, then that could indicate a problem, right? But I've seen a lot of comments like that. Not necessarily for that card, but just different cards in general. And honestly, that could just be based on just being used to, people being used to find it hard to read the cards in general.
But even in that, like, people might argue and say, oh, it's pretty easy to understand. At the tournament, I asked multiple people and no one knew the answer.
Fair enough.
Like, literally, even my opponents, I'm like, yo, does this work like this? They're like, I don't know. I had to ask the judge, and then the judge came and clarified. But like, I literally asked like 5 different people, and no one knew how the card was supposed to be played. Maybe it's because it's not played enough or whatever, but either way, the fact that like 5 different people didn't know the answer, it's like, it's not just like a lack of understanding or something like that.
That's fair. Yes, 100%, I agree with that.
I think it's just a design flaw in my opinion.
Yeah, she's a super combo. I just like, man, I think simplicity, or the lack of simplicity thereof, is what, I don't want to say killed Masters, but I guess it's picking back up now. I don't know if it ever really fell off. Like, you guys can also comment below and tell us if you think it fell off at any point. It is, like I said, being Canadian is hard to gauge because our scene is not as big as America, but I think the lack of simplicity is what at least would have made it die down. And then people just finding other card games that are more well built. And then there's also the hype train that people will hop off no matter what, which is fine. Whatever card game you play is whatever card game you play. But I think Bandai just needs to just get a hold on that. I think if they can just get a hold on the simplicity of the card text, then I personally think that could change a lot. Ooh, the SCR Son Goku GT. Oh, that's nice. We did get the SCR. Nice. This card, this guy is kind of crazy still. Look at that. Oh no, this is the SR. This is the SCR. I remember facing this first round. Who did I face? I'm so sorry. I forgot who you are in the August regionals. Man, this card was a challenge. It says if you don't have, when attacking once per turn, if you don't have an energy marker, you may place 1 energy marker. End of your turn, if your energy marker is removed from the game during this turn, draw 1 card. This is like, holy.
I killed that card, bro.
I like. It's a good effect though.
It is.
I got around it, but like, I was a bit worried at first. Playing blue too was a bit tricky, but I love the book on this card. What the heck?
Oh, that's another thing. I like that you can play multiple SCRs in this game.
Yes.
And it also shows that the SCRs in this game are not like broken.
Yes.
So that's cool.
I do very much appreciate that. And I hope they keep this vibe going with the super combos. I don't see why they would change at this point, but having extra 10k power on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. The power ramping in the combos is pretty wild.
It's wild, but it's like then it's fair across the different decks, right? Different colors. Like every deck has an opportunity to have that kind of access. At least in my experience.
I feel like the popular decks, yeah.
Ooh, yes. Yo, I kind of want to build Jiren next. This guy's mod. Jiren SR. Look at that. The art is so tough on this Jiren. I still think Masters has like the most... Actually, I don't know. The foiling on this is really nice, but the design in Masters for like the alts and the... at least, I don't know. This is kind of giving me alt art vibes, but it's not an alt art. So I think Fusion World may have it down on the SRs for the art. Because they look really nice.
I feel like Masters seems more high quality.
Yes. That might be a good explanation to it.
Like visually, the Fusion Road has like a lot of like even this is a one drop. It has a lot of like colorful and like, you know, wild looking art. But like I think Masters has higher quality.
At least in like the design, right? Or
yeah, the design, like the card itself. That's what it feels like.
yeah, I can romp with that statement.
But yo, that actually reminds me though, talking about the comboing stuff. I don't know if it changed with this set. I didn't really look too hard into this set, but like I'm playing Green Gohan, right? In the tournament I was, and I noticed that like my deck felt really underpowered in terms of combo potential because of like I'm facing obviously a lot of meta decks, but like I feel like the blue deck, the red decks, the black decks, they all had a lot of 10k combo cards. Whereas like with the green deck, a lot of the cards that I needed to run in my deck are just 5k combos. And like some of them are like 6 drops, 3 drops, 4 drops, 5 drops, and they're only 5k combo. But then a lot of the decks I'm facing, like blue decks, I can just grab like 3 1 drops from my drop area and they have like 10k combo and stuff like that, you know? So like the balance of like combo potential, from what I've experienced and like my deck that I played, I feel like it was pretty unbalanced. Like, why do I have a bunch of 5 drops, 6 drops, and they have only 5k combo? And like the effect is not even that good where it needs to be nerfed in terms of combo power, you know?
Fair.
Versus like the blue decks, I'm comboing peel off and then I can just grab a peel off from the drop area. Like,
that's fair. Oh, that's fair. Fair point. Someone who played blue is fair point.
Like I feel like all the other colors had or other decks had a lot of combo potential. Versus maybe I'm just playing the wrong cards. Like I said, like I didn't know any of the cards I was facing in the tournament, but and I don't know if they changed that with this new set right here. But yeah, I felt like green just didn't have as much combo cards or 10k combo cards.
This one got the alt Piccolo. There you go. Those are our hits for the box, like 2 or 3 per box. This is beautiful. What the heck? I really appreciate this art. The alt arts in this game I really appreciate. Not necessarily like better or worse compared to Masters, but I don't know. It just looks pretty cool. It's like I think it's its own thing.
Yeah, it's good.
Our hits for the box. But we got the SDR though, which is very nice. Nice. The next box. Let's do it. Ah, you got the Videl, nice.
But yeah, in terms of like, in terms of the direction of the game and like stuff like that, I do hope both games succeed, and I hope that Bandai eventually puts a client for Masters, just to give people that online experience as well. Because I think that will help a lot. Like especially in Canada, we don't have a lot of tournaments and stuff like that, right?
So very true.
If we had an online client for Masters, then people can continue playing competitively and get invited to nationals and stuff like that.
100%.
But still not have to travel across country to the States and spend like $3,000-$4,000 just to go and play in the tournament, you know?
Yeah, facts. So, right?
Yeah.
I agree, because even for myself, getting an invite to Nats, finding out it's like 2 months from now. Right now it's mid-September, finding out it's November. It's like, plane tickets hella expensive 2 months in advance if you're not looking at buying like 5 months in advance. So like when you're from Canada and you have to travel that far, it's like, unless you're confident you can really place high, then it's like, is it really worth it? Some could say it's worth it for the experience, but it's like stuff like that makes it like hard to keep up with the game. long term if there's not really support for your home country. But yeah, if you can have like an online client in that way, especially for Masters, something we both still love, it's like, oh, that would be very nice. And they don't even have to make it where it's like you're getting these code cards, right? They could make it even its own kind of thing, where it's not necessarily tied to the physical game. I personally don't know. Like, you guys can comment below, like how you think that would work. I don't know how it would, from a business standpoint. Like, if it would be bad to not have like the physical game tied into it, but I still think it would be fun and nice to have because we've never actually had it, you know. Ooh, Bardock.
Yeah.
Get it.
I feel like it'll never come probably because there's so many cards now, and I feel like they're gonna be lazy about like putting all those cards into an online database. Maybe I'm wrong though.
Yeah, it's facts. If anything, they would have to start out with like a limited amount, but then people would want it to add more to get added over time, right? So, geez, Pan putting it work. But yeah, highly would recommend, if you were thinking of getting into Fusion World, like, why not just try it? If you were thinking of going back to Masters, go back to Masters, or get into Masters. I think they're both really fun games at the end of the day. They're gonna have their issues no matter what, but I think for both games to keep thriving, they're both gonna need a good little fan base. Oh my goodness, bro, Man's pulled the alt art for Pan. Y'all already know Pan is like it's like probably my favorite character in the Dragon Ball card game, especially for Masters. Watch our videos and you guys will know. But I love running Pan. But the fact that we just pulled the SDR, sorry, the alternate art for the SR for Pan, I'm like super happy right now. That is beautiful. On play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. When attacking, pay 1 energy, draw 1 card. Then if you removed an energy marker for this skill, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 4 or less and return it to its owner's hand. Oh man. Beautiful art for the alt art Pan, I'm very happy with this. Jeez. Put it right there, Star of the show.
But yeah, I think like overall, just supporting in other regions would be really nice. It's so hard out here, bro. And like for me, it's deflating when like you see like the announced price for like let's say like a starter deck is like $20, and it's supposed to be $20 in Canada, but then by the time it gets here, it's like $40,
right?
Because of the supply and demand and stuff. Like that's deflating. It makes me not want to spend the money, to be honest.
Right, because that's how it was early on, and that's like one thing that turned it off Jamal from Fusion World, right?
Yeah, and I feel like the prices are dropping now because people, like the meta is kind of shaping up and people are playing specific decks, so things are less valued. But I don't know, bro. There needs to be something in place for like the prices and just like a consistent supply of cards, but also like working to make cards relevant for longer. Like, why are you putting out a bunch of cards that are just gonna die off, because nobody's playing them, and then they're worthless?
Yeah, facts. Like these boxes, like they dropped in value. I don't know. That's I guess that's technically not because of Bandai directly, but like I got these for like 50 USD. So I paid like that was like 76 Canadian after tax and conversion, which is like crazy because I'm paying like 130 here plus tax, right? So literally I saved like 50%. Which is crazy. But I think like if just in general, if the cards could be bought by stores, as someone who works as an LGS as well on the side, if they could be bought by stores for a lower amount because they're sold for a lower amount to the stores, oh man, if I can buy a box of Masters for like $100, I'd do that every set, easy.
Yeah.
But to be honest, paying 130 and then after tax you're paying like 150, it is kind of hard. Ooh, Majin Buu.
Yeah, bro. They are moving like mans are rich out here. Like we're not rich out here right now, and like our economy is crazy, bro. Rent is crazy all across like Toronto, Ontario. Like it's expensive to live out here, bro. Like mans are paying $2,000 a month for a bachelor apartment with no bedrooms. Like
100%.
Can you believe that? And then also utilities are not included, so they have to pay for water, electricity, for heat. And if you have a car, you gotta pay for parking. Like it's hard out here, man. It's
crazy, yo. So yeah, I do wish in that way, like alt leader. This is money right here. Well, to me, anyways, this is beautiful. Especially Jiren. I gotta build Jiren now. I want to look for singles, but I'm like, I need to open this before. But I'm like, now I gotta build Jiren. Got the SR and got the leader. But yeah, I wish it was do wish the price point was a bit cheaper. I'm not a businessman like per se, so I don't know how much it costs to produce cards over time. But
no, bro, like you don't have to be a businessman. Bandai is not making money from somebody selling an SCR for $800. Like Bandai themselves they're not making money from that sale. The player bases.
That's facts.
So the scarce amount of like cards available, it doesn't make sense to me.
Bandai make it cheaper. Where's this going? Oh yeah, mix up my colors, bro. I don't even know what colors are anymore. Oh, that's your problem.
I guess if they put out more like supply though, then that means people will get what they want, and then they won't have to like buy more product or something. I don't know. Just make good cards. Make everything good.
Make everything good, bro.
And then people buy all the boxes and stuff.
Yeah, I want to go on a case one day. That's like one of my personal hope for the future of Dragon Ball. For me, be able to buy a case and just rip it. Holy, that would be fun. It's hard though when it's expensive. And also, I guess the way we move as a community, but yo, for me, paying unconverted or selling my cards for unconverted,
oh my goodness,
is hard when we're paying like converted prices for boxes. Oh, Topo, yo. Ooh, his SR looks nice. Yo, a lot of SRs from these two boxes.
Even paying, we have to pay converted prices just to find cards in general.
Yes, like, exactly.
Say we don't have cards in where we live in Canada, then we gotta buy a TCG player in America, and then you have to pay conversion, then you also have to pay $20 for shipping. Like,
it's hard. It's hard out here. I can't lie. And then like I get people will say, oh, people don't sell it for unconverted in the States, but if you're paying like 80%, 85% TCG player converted, that still adds up to more than Canadian dollars. And then we would pay unconverted. That makes sense, yeah. So I get it though. That's the way the community moves. But also don't want someone to see someone on the post being made fun of or whatever, they're selling their card for too high because they're not selling it for unconverted. If you want to buy it, you want to buy it. If someone wants to sell it, they want to sell it, right? As long as they're not a scammer. But that's something that's hard for me as well, to want to be able to flip cards online, especially knowing how much you paid for a box out in Canada. It's not easy to find cheaper boxes in Canada. Not at all.
Yeah. It's kind of hard. Like, I feel like if we're going to use unconverted prices, then we need our own value system or something in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, the prices shouldn't be one-to-one. But then I guess cards would be really expensive here.
Yeah, facts. Look at that. Beautiful. G's pen. SR and SCR. Hold on, I just dropped the card. I'm a fail. Oh, the Topo. Alright, those are the hits. Still got a couple more packs. Yo, this is looking nice still. Ooh, got another G and SR. That's nice. This is a pretty nice couple boxes. Jeez. One the Vidal and the Gohan. Jeez. It's looking nice. But yeah, you guys can feel free to comment below your thoughts on some of the things we discussed. What are some of your hopes and futures for Masters? What are some of your hopes and wishes, vision for Fusion World, for both of them, for just the game as a whole? Yeah, man, yo, shout out to the community though, the community for both of these games for keeping it going strong amidst all the challenges, and for the ones who stuck through since the beginning. Yo, shout out to you guys too, yo. Appreciate you guys, and just even be able to go back to regionals recently and have a whole bunch of fun because the game is still going on in some way, even though it wasn't Masters for us. Although they were hosting Masters there and we chose to play Fusion World, that was really fun for me and I had a super great time. So shout out to everybody, and that's my biggest hope, is that the community could just keep the game going strong and just keep, y'all keep respecting one another, and let's make the game grow and stay alive.
Yeah, facts.
Alright, yo, Nam and Mandem. Peace.